Welcome everyone. This is video one in a series of 5 that is walking you through how to start day trading. Going to be looking at how you can jump in and actually kick off your trading here in Australia. So first thing I want you to do is jump over to Yahoo Finance. We're going to be having a look at Yahoo Finance to kick this off. And what I want you to do is pick a market leading stock in any industry. So we're generally going to go with the big blue chip companies. So I always like tech, and one that's been particularly big this year is Afterpay. So we're going to have a look at Afterpay in Australia as soon as it comes up correctly. So many stock names with different countries. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to identify the momentum and the movements and how this stock responds to different timeframes in the market. So throughout the day, there's different swings and changes and momentums and moods and different people jumping on and off. And, you know, there's a saying that amateurs open the market whilst professionals close the market. There's different aspects where bond markets are closing, overseas are doing different things. So first part of the session is about understanding how the stock moves that you want to, that you want to trade. And I'm just going to flick back to some random times. Here sort of looks good. So I've got it set up. This is a 1-day chart and it's on a 5-minute interval. So each one of these represents 5 minutes, which gives us a really good period to understand how this stock moves. And when you do this with only, 2 or 3 stocks and understand how they move, that's how you can become a really profitable trader. When you know the nuances of these stocks, that's when it can be really powerful. So we're jumping here 21st of the 10th. And if we have a look at 10 a.m. when it kicks off, it's a massive green bar for the day. So we've got a massive green bar and then followed by another one, but then it starts to take a bit of a downturn. And the bigger these bars, the more volume and activity that's going on. So you can see the first few, they're really big, and then they start to shrink and get a bit smaller as the morning goes on. So that's our first bit of information. It mightn't seem like a lot, but it's really powerful. So if we have a look down the bottom there, those big bars go through pretty much until about 10:25, 10:30. So there's a lot of movement in that period. So there's a lot of unpredictability as well. So as a day trader, if we don't have access to that pre-market open, then we may want to just have it part of our strategy. Let's skip this. We don't know what's going on. It actually opens at 103.15. It goes up to a high of 104.42, and then it finishes at 103.49. So not too far off, sort of where it opened. So we might discard this first period. That's the morning craziness. Let's still call it the morning craziness. And we want to see if that happens every single day. So then from about 10:30, we see a massive drop. So it started to go up a little bit, and then we see a massive drop for the share price until about 11:45. Notice how these bars start getting bigger. Another thing to take note of, particularly around here, 11:35. Now, because this is one-off, it could be some kind of news for the day. So we've got a massive decrease, and then right around this lunchtime period, 11:45 to, let's call it 1 o'clock, that's a reversal period. So the morning's decreased, lunchtime's gone up, and then from lunchtime to the end of the market, it's gone down a little bit, but recovered. So that's the type of stuff we want to identify with a stock. What does it do in these different frames of the market? Let's have a look at what happened on the 20th. Again, big bars, making it a bit more unpredictable. And these ones actually go on for a little bit longer. This is another big bar here. So again, almost the first hour, it was unpredictable, but certainly they started to shrink there for a little bit around that 10:25, 10:30. And as we note, it comes up with a direction. And then again, around this period of time, it starts to go down, it starts to go backwards. If we have a look back here on the 21st, remember, it went down, and then it's right around this 11:45, it did the opposite. So maybe this is a bit of information. It's clearly gone up from open till this 11:50, even though 11:45. And then from there, it goes back down, until, almost the close. So that's kind of a peak. So just something to kind of take note of. And once you do this for a longer period of time, you're really starting to get to understand the nuances of this stock. Look at the open on the 15th. Look at these massive bars here. It opened at 96.58 and it went down to a low of 95.32. That's massive. Like, unless we're getting insider information, we probably don't want to be trading in this period because it's really unpredictable. And again, it kind of slows down at 10:30. So there we go. Just by looking at this, we know Afterpay in the first half hour is really, really crazy. So as a day trader, let's not get involved in that. We'll take note of the information, but we certainly don't want to be trading and getting involved in that part. And then, the bars get a lot smaller. So let's see the general direction of the market and test that 11:45, 12 o'clock strategy. This one just kind of goes sideways for the rest of the day. Interesting, no, the bars get a lot smaller from about 3:30 onwards. So keep kicking along. And we're just identifying these patterns, to give us the best opportunity, for trading. Again, we open up massive movement in the first half hour. This one carries on a little bit more, but let's see if we can find that 11:45. Starts to go down a little bit, but that's really kind of range trading. It doesn't start to pick up until sort of, probably about that 12:30 period. It starts to actually form a bit of a trend. So see how we are identifying patterns though when the kickoff. So, we're starting here, open market, 10 a.m. This calms down a lot quicker than normally. Those bars are a lot smaller, which could be a good sign for us to get in if we start putting indicators on this. And this actually goes up in a really, really nice uptrend. And the bottom of that uptrend is around 11:30. So we could almost say that the first part of the market, certainly the first half hour, big bars are moving, and then it's just people going back and forth and trying to decide what way the market's going to go. And then it seems to really start to take shape. It's not necessarily a reversal, but it starts to take shape from 11:30. Let's see if that kind of continues on with some other days. Again, massive bars on open, far out. You don't want to be getting involved in that part. Then they shrink considerably. And then again, around that, this 11:30 period, that's where it starts to decrease and go down and take shape for the day. So it's almost like, because this is a tech stock, it's really popular. There's a lot of new traders in here. It's taken a while for the market to actually sort itself out. And again, these smaller bars are ideally where you want to get in because there's not a lot of activity. You're taking advantage of some signals. You're not getting caught up in this crazy volatility like the start of the market. And then, start to see your trade go in that direction. So that's as simple as I can make it for this first session. Just jump onto Yahoo Finance, pick the stock, pick a market leader in the industry. You can do it across a number of different ones. Again, if we want to have a look, let's go consumer staples, and we can go to Woolworths. And because each stock is unique, right? So it's going to respond differently to how sort of the market opens and the market closes, and then the different periods. So there's probably about 3 or 4 sections to the market. We've got that open period. We've got sort of that consolidation around lunchtime where it starts to work itself out. We've got the afternoon blues, where the people are just kind of sitting around. It's 2 o'clock. What are you doing at work for the professional traders? And then we'll see some activity kind of close. But again, we're looking here at 10 a.m., even Woolworths, crazy big bars opening, going to extremes and going down. Definitely worth, if you've got some insider information on that period there, be worth trading. But certainly these bars go on for a period of time. And then we know around this 11:30 time, it does something different before going back down again. But if we keep scrolling to the left, we just want to find these patterns of information. So this one opened incredibly low. I was going to say high, but there was a massive gap here from the market. So potentially some bad news, and then it's gone down for that period of time. So this is what we're doing on the first day. This really gets you to understand, how your stock reacts from the open right through to the close. And when it can really take off and identifying the trend, because this is, if we go from here to here, yes, it's up. But how much has it gone up, and where do we want to get involved in? So pick 3, maybe 4 stocks that you want to do this with, and just identify some of the patterns that you might be able to find. When are what are they doing at the open? Are they reversing for the day? Is the first 2 bars actually a sign of the day? You might find something where if the first two bars are green, then it's going to end up positive for the rest of the day, regardless of what sort of happens. You go here, first 2 bars are green, ends up positive, regardless of what happens. You can test out a number of different theories, and just back testing your results. So that's what I want you to do. get to understand your stock, get into the motion of the flow, how it responds to different things, and see how it goes compares to those different time frames within the market, and then start to understand the best times for you to get in and to get out as well.